Thakura Vaishnavagana Kori Nivedana Thakura Vaishnavagana Kori Nivedana Mobodo Adama Durachara Mobodo Adama Durachara Mobodo Adama Durachara Mobodo Adama Durachara Daruna Samsara Nidhi Nidhi Jai Duvai Ovidi Daruna Samsara Nidhi Jai Duvai Ovidi Kichedori More Karupara Kichedori More Karupara Kichedori More Karupara
Kori Nivedanam Mogoro Atama Duhacharana Mogoro Atama Duhacharana. Oder man singt sie Satua Vaishnavagana Kori Nivedanam Mogoro Atama Duhacharana.
Dann ist nur ein Neun.
Und dann singt man die zweite nicht so. Dann singt man Davona Sansara Nitin Tahe Duba Iroviti Kesedori Mori Koba. Das ist auch nur einmal. Zweimal singen, da singt man nämlich höher singen. Davona Sansara Nitin Tahe Duba Iroviti Kesedori Mori Koba. Kesedori Mori Koba. Aber wenn, dann muss man wieder beide kurz oder beide einmal.
Ob ich das also stimmlich hinkriegen würde, weiß ich nicht. Jetzt für Gora.
Vitamora Jivanandana.
Habe Gora Sedina Ama. Essa. Achso, Finita. Oh ja, ja, das ist für den Dinger Finita.
Das ist auch für den 3.
Finita, ja, genau. Ja, super. Das war jetzt hier für Gora eigentlich. Was meinst du für die Beine ist? Habe Gora Sedina Ama.
Habe Bonus auch für den 3.
Ich weiß nicht, ist es für beide? Das ist jetzt also für Gora hier.
Das ist für den 3.
Bei hier steht es unter Shrigora steht das hier. Also es ist für Finita, ist das hier? Eigentlich? Das ist 88. Wie ist das angegeben für die kleinen Männer? Hier ist noch eins, das ist auch recht kurz. Das bleibt 91. Das sieht man fast ähnlich wie 91 im Englischen. Dana Mora Nityananda. Das sieht man vielleicht ähnlich wie das vorige. Das wäre jetzt eins von Nityananda. Ich habe es noch nie gesungen, glaube ich. Zum letzten Leben. das kommt jetzt. Fehlt noch. Ah.
Oder weiter.
So.
Ja.
Ach so. Sah so aus, als wäre es so irgendwie.
Schikaniert. Hingeschickt.
Einmal habe ich das Discord ausgeteilt, Food for Life.
Ja.
Da kamen so ganz viele Leute, dann haben sie sich Spaß draus gemacht, diesen Wrestler, der da ausgeteilt hat, also umherzuscheuchen. Dann haben sie mich gerufen, komm, für Prasad, getreten. Und ich gekommen, ja, nee, war doch nichts. Ich bin wieder weggegangen, dann haben sie wieder gerufen, komm, Prasad.
Bengali?
Also gestern.
Was?
Gestern, im Mayapur-Tempel.
Ah, Mayapur war das.
Mit Absicht. Die haben sich kaputt gelacht dann, ja.
Ja,
Ich weiß nicht, was sie gedacht haben, aber haben sich Spaß draus gemacht.
Ja. War das mit Gurudevas? Das war.
Jetzt kommt, da war ich noch 50 Minuten.
Die haben interessanten Himmel, das stimmt. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasani Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Sachidananda Jagannatha. Ne?
Andersrum singen.
Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Sachidananda. Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Sachidananda. Jagannatha, Jaya Sachidananda. Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Sachidananda. Jagannatha, Jaya Sachidananda.
Und warum jetzt so? Erst Jagannath, dann Sachidananda?
Weil sonst hört sich so an, wie als ob Jagannath der Sohn von Mutter Sachi ist. Das ist kein
Nicht Rasik.
anderes Jagannath. Warum sei Sachidananda
Ja.
eigentlich Jagannath selbst ist.
Ja, Jagannath.
Mit dem einen, wenn du das eine singst, verehrst du Jagannath,
Den Vater.
Jagannath, den Herrn des Universums. Und sein Attribut ist, dass er der Sohn Mutter Sachis ist. Das ist ein bisschen speziell. Bei dem anderen, andersrum, verehrst du den Sohn Mutter Sachis.
Ja.
Und sein Attribut ist, dass er eigentlich Jagannath, dass er eigentlich der Herr des Universums ist. So dass es mehr appropriate.
Ja. Ja. Nicht nachher.
Wird wohl nichts werden.
Kommt dann wahrscheinlich vielleicht schon morgen und dann vielleicht.
Ich glaube, sie kommen nicht.
Ja. Vielleicht sind sie vorbeigefahren.
Seite 342.
300 und?
42, 342.
42.
Vande Shri Brajanath Prabhu Kamalanayana Lochana Sampadam Shri Brajanath Prabhu Kamalanayana Lochana Sampadam Vande Shri Brajanath Prabhu Kamalanayana Lochana Sampadam Shri Vishwanath Kamalanayana Lochana Sampadam Nakaramuku Vachita Koti Sudhakara Nakaramuku Nakaramuku Vachita Koti Sudhakara Nakaramuku Vachita Madham Varidayaksa Koram Manoharam Varidayaksa Koram Manoharam Vande Shri Vishwanath Prabhu Kamalanayana Vande Shri Vishwanath Prabhu Kamalanayana Lochana Sampadam Kamalanutta Saupagari Kansita Kamalanutta Saupagari Kansita Kamalanutta Lalita Dikara Yavakalansita Lalita Dikara Vande Shri Vishwanath Prabhu Kamalanayana Lochana Sampadam Vishwanath Prabhu Kamalanayana Lochana Sampadam Sansevya Giridharamati Mandita Giridharamati Mandita Sansevya Giridharamati Mandita Sansevya Rasa Vilasana Tana Rasa Pandita Vande Shiva Shavana Sutapara Kamaganayana Lochana Shampara Shavana Sutapara Kamaganayana Lochana Shampara Jaya Raje Jaya Raje Jaya Raje Jaya Raje Jaya Raje Jaya Brajanath Jaya Vrinda Devi Jaya Brajanath Jaya Vrinda Devi Jaya Brajanath Jaya Vrinda Devi Lord Devanande
Hari Hari Bol.
Welcome home.
Jaya Kamai Radha Jaya Sachi
Jaya Nagatama.
Jaya
Jaya Dhina Bambu.
Sorry, legs, so much traffic. Oh yeah. Traffic jams.
Jam.
Jam.
How long is getting a jam? 1 hour? More than it. Oh. Big jam.
Oh. Tschüss, Glockstetten, Klingeln, voller Talmud und Gefühl. Radhe Shyam! Sein Antlitz ist wunderschön. Seine Augen gleichen Lotusblüten, Blattern. Streit umher und zaubert in seinen Flöten ein in seiner dreifach verschwungenen Gestalt. Radhe Shyam. In Vrindavan's beide Brüder öffnet die Tür. Stillt die Herzen der Gopis und haut den Overgang übel empor. Radhe Shyam Shyam. Nun haben sich Sri Radha Krishna bereinigt. In den goldenen Avatar. Sri Satinandana Gaura Hare Ki Jai. Der das Singen, der heilige Name, der übt. Radhe Shyam Shyam Shyam. Wer außer euch ist mein? Ihr steigt herab in Gestalt eures göttlichen Namens. Eure Lotusfüße sind voller Wunder. Dieser Narayan ist hocherfreut. Radhe Shyam Shyam Shyam. Brajanath Prabhu Radhe Shyam Shyam Shyam. Seva-Ashram. Radhe Shyam, 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 Gaur Mukutta Makara Krita Kundala Ghala Vayanti Brajanath Prabhu Vrindavanande Denu Charave Gopi Jana Manahari Vrindavanande Denu Charave Gopi Jana Manahari Shri Govardhana Dhari Radhe Shama Shama Janamana Sukha Khari Radhe Shama 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 Radhe Janamana Sukha Khari Radhe Shama Shama Radha Krishna Niliyavadar Gaura Rupa Avatari Radha Krishna Gaura Rupa Avatari Kirtana Dharma Prachari Radhe Shama Shama Radhe Sham, 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 Radhe Janamana Sukha Khari Radhe Shama Shama Tumbina Niryana Khaye Namarupa Avatari Tumbina Niryana Khaye Namarupa Avatari Chararame Bali Hari Radhe Shama 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 Shri Radhe Chararame Bali Hari Radhe Shri Narayana Bali Hari Radhe Shama Shama Shri Radhe Narayana Bali Hari Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham, Radhe Raja Janamana Sukha Khari Radhe Shama 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 Radhe Raja Janamana Sukha Khari Radhe Shama 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 Jai Jai Sri Radhe Shama. The association of Narada, Dinadanu, and Kanai Prabhu, and Sachi Devi.
You always have the association of Dinadanu and Kanai. Motsa is also there.
So maybe Kanai Prabhu is suggesting that maybe we take a little prasada and then take a rest.
Can we have like a few minutes?
Then you
Just
can.
not come to eat and sleep here. We
See, great Vaishnavas, they do that. They only speak Harikatha. Wherever they go, they are non-stop. Because they have connection with the transcendental world. I am not in that category.
Still you can speak a little bit. That would be nice.
If Vrinda gives blessings, then...
Yeah, I give you blessings to speak some Harikatha. There's some streamline going on also.
Streamline?
Oh yeah.
Okay, oh really? Yeah.
So you better...
Be straight.
On the spot.
Yeah, okay, 10 minutes.
Okay, 10 minutes.
We are speaking, we are reading the moment from Brajanath. And the goal is first tune to the West.
Okay.
Oh wow.
You could speak a little bit about
Yeah, they can...
how you
From
manage
your
that.
experience.
Yes, how you manage that.
You know, one devotee in Holland, he asked me to speak something, write something actually, because they want to put it in any website. And I was thinking I cannot write, because it is so, what is it? Not natural. Yeah, so we visited the devotee, and we asked him, you can ask any questions, then I will try to answer the questions. So we asked, how did Gurudev come to the West? Why did he come? What was his intention? How did it happen? Why he came to Holland, the first time? All these questions they were asking. This is also always like something that resonates with all devotees. There were some devotees there who had never met Gurudev, and they became very happy to hear what Gurudev's mood is, why he came to Western countries. So I can answer your questions if you have any questions. Yeah, then I will try to answer that. Yeah. Kanaya Prabhu, what is your question?
I would like to know how it came that you were the fortunate person to bring Gurudev to the West first.
Oh,
How
yeah.
it happened that you became Gurudev's secretary? And also how this first tour in America, how it was managed, all these places, because there are many places, like
Mm.
only 3 months.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was his first tour, how this was all, how did all these places come about?
All right.
And also, then he went to the temple in Los Angeles. There, the Dayananda Swami was there.
Yes.
What happened at that time?
Is there where you are now in Los Angeles?
You are in Los Angeles now?
Yeah, actually, he just finished the first tour, his first world tour. He's now back in Mathura.
On Daki Mathura, huh? Okay. So we were in New York with Srila Gurudev visiting Srila Prabhupada's matchless gift, the place where Srila Prabhupada started the revolution of Krishna consciousness. And he rented that storefront, which was very beautifully in everything that happens in our life. There is no coincidence or what is it? There is no chance, or everything has deep meaning, very deep meaning. If we are connected with our inner experience, then we can see always very good Udipan inspirations. So lucky that we developed this vision when we were with Srila Gurudev. He encouraged us to always see the good in others. So in short, I will try to say a few words that maybe helping us to connect more with the real principle of Sri Guru, especially the very most beautiful manifestation of our Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Their mission is one, it is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission, but all bring a very special flavor. So I only know in short. I'll start. First I pray to the lotus feet of Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, all the Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis, especially our Bhagavat Parampara, that they not forget us, that they not forget. I know they will not, but that we not forget them. Yeah. They always remember us, but we forget. And we think we have no friends. We are alone in this world and we look for friends in this world. Yeah. But how we can have any relationship with anyone in this world unless we have relationship with these great personalities? So how that happened, I can only say that by their causeless mercy, they are very kind. They are very concerned for the living entities. And if anyone has some interest to be with them, Gurudev said, I cannot reject anyone. So that was my good luck, that he did not reject me. From beginning, he was so full of encouragement. Yeah. Even to the point that he said, I want that you should always be with me, he said. After receiving his mercy, I asked Gurudev, after a very beautiful, it is like an adventure, you know. Spiritual life is actually the most fascinating adventure. Srila Bhakti Rakshakshida Maharaj said, if you don't take this, opportunity to embrace the adventure of spiritual life, knowing that at any time, anything can happen, and be ready to take the risk. Yeah. For who? For Guru and Krishna. Yeah. What is the risk? That all the conceptions that I had before, they will no longer help me. Yeah. Now this new broad conception has come in our life. So when we Vrinda and myself came in contact with Srila Gurudev, it was like a very mystical process, and I attribute this all to Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who was in that time, saving the lives of all those who came in contact with his books or with his glories. And even now, these books are like magic. When you read Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, any book from Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, it connects with our heart, with our real purpose. So these great personalities, they are more than the embodiment. And everything that they touch, that they produce, it is like a medicine. It is like an injection, a nourishment for the soul. So by Prabhupada's mercy, Srila Prabhupada, although we never met Srila Prabhupada physically, but we always felt that he's our teacher, he's my teacher. I cannot find a better teacher. And his gift was wholesome. It was completely, we call that holistic, that is the Sunday feast. The morning program, the evening program, that was the sandwich, and in between we do seva. And it was at that time a lot of seva, the emphasis was on seva. Hard work, you may remember that. Working hard now, samadhi later. And in that course, in that experience, at least I learned that the most important thing is to cultivate that inner relationship with Sri Guru, according to the definition that Srila Prabhupada brought in this world. Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavitamati Kriyatam Yati Kutopi Lapyate. If you find anyone who is completely immersed in Bhakti Rasa, Bhakti rasa is transcendental. Yeah. Relishment, happiness in a relationship with all the ingredients, Sthayi Bhav, Sanchari Bhav, Vibhav, Anubhav, Sattvika Bhav. All these beautiful, there are like 40 main ingredients that are mixed in such a way that it creates a constant festival of happiness. That is what we experience now, just a little bit, yeah, but it is gonna become better and better. This is the nature of spiritual activities, spiritual relationships. They increase the inner happiness and satisfaction. So praying to Srila Prabhupada for many years, 12 years perhaps, or so. Before that also, before joining ISKCON, Prabhupada was always my ideal, that what he has in the heart, I felt that is what I want. I seeing his picture, reading his books, he is a pure devotee, he loves God. I want to have that love, what he has. I don't know what it is, but I want to find out. And little did we know what is the definition of bhakti or prema and the stages in development of bhakti. We only learned to follow 4 regulative principles, chant 16 rounds, and distribute books, and listen to the classes of the devotees, and don't have any doubts. And if you want to know more about gopis or anything, that is not necessary. Now, just remember that you fell from Vaikuntha, and that the authority, follow the authority, that is Prabhupada's, what is it? Gift, that we are having authority, we have whatever. Anyhow, the heart was not so happy, what to speak of. It was becoming more and more dry in that circumstance that was, I would say, like a beautiful, it was like a interim period to now prepare ourselves that I really want that something should happen in my heart. I call it emotions, whatever, but some real, awakening should come in the heart. So meeting Srila Gurudeva, that was like a confirmation, although neither Vrinda nor myself were interested to take initiation unless Prabhupada would come or someone like Prabhupada, but we heard that it is impossible. There is no one like Prabhupada, never will there ever anyone be like Prabhupada. Okay, then I told them, these who were telling this, that I'll wait then till the next life, but I'm not going to give up. So then we met Srila Gurudeva, and it was like a very mystical, amazing happening. And when Gurudev told me that, Brajanath, I want that you should always be with me, then I felt like, wow, how does he know my heart? Because really that is what I was, internally. And in ISKCON, in that previous situation, we were like always afraid to open our heart. If you would open your heart or ask some deep, concerns, or express that. So when Gurudev came in our life, it was like, wow, he's like completely resonating with my inner. He wants me to be with him. Oh, wow, now this is my chance. But what now? How to do? What to do? Then I saw Gurudev always surrounded by brahmacharis, minimum 5 brahmacharis who were serving him, writing his books, cooking, cleaning, and doing errands, everything. So I was watching that. I was in Vrindavan, in Mathura, in the mud, and my nature is I like to observe, and then if I see something, what is really, really favorable, I at once go in that direction. So waiting and seeing and observing and thinking, what can I do for Gurudev? Of course, donations is always, that was very good. Yeah, in that time, they didn't have much money, so we brought some computer, laptop, the first laptop in the mud. Yeah, Vrinda was then typing, and we brought sewing machines that were, in Western countries, no longer they had the electric, so, and we had the with the hand, and we brought them to the mud. They were very happy. We gave some donations for book printing. In 1992, we actually met him physically. Yeah, the first time. Before that, we just met him in ISKCON a few times when he would come for Krishna Balaram Mandir, for Baladev Purnima, or for Prabhupada's disappearance day in Kartik. That. Yeah, perhaps. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I may have also, I think 2 or 3 times maybe before, and I was not what was it? I could not understand, but I was very attracted how he dealt and interacted with the ISKCON devotees. That was really impressive for me. Why? Because he helped them without expecting anything in return. He actually defended the ISKCON. What is it? Properties in India. The children of Srila Prabhupada were ready to take, because they said, yeah, this is the property of our father, so we are the sons, and they couldn't make any good arguments in court, the ISKCON devotees, and they went to Srila Gurudev, who was the priest and the witness, everything, and who was a real saintly person, so he could speak in the language that. I just told that. I told that. I told that he was the priest and the witness in the sannyas ceremony of Srila Prabhupada. So then, sorry, I thought I said that, but maybe it was not clear. Yeah. Yeah, so very beautiful. So when I heard that he did all these things, and he was telling the ISKCON devotees, the leaders of ISKCON, what is bhajan, what is bhakti, yeah, what are the secrets in the scriptures, like Raghavatma Chandrika, Madhurya Kadambini, Jaiva Dharma, all these beautiful scriptures, yeah, Venu Git, Brahma Samhita. And when I saw that these devotees who were going to Srila Gurudev were so happy and inspired, and not only that, they were like humble and little children in front of him, and I noticed that there is something happening there, something which I never saw in ISKCON leaders or gurus. They become like natural and beautiful, happy persons, yeah, humble. And then I became very much at awe for what Srila Narayana Maharaj is doing. And then I heard that he is not giving initiation, and I felt even more happy. I said, wow, this is, a real good quality. Yeah, someone who doesn't want to give initiation. Wow, that was like, because that is so unattractive. Yeah, if you go anywhere and you know that, they're just canvassing, they just want to collect followers. Yeah. For what? Then I become one of the numbers if I go there, and then I could not see how that would encourage me to develop a relationship. But when I heard Srila Narayana was not giving, then I felt, wow, now I can have full faith in what he is speaking, because he is not interested to collect anything. Then when we met with Srila Gurudev in 1992, it made such a profound impression that I decided this is the person I can follow, I can accept, and I can have no doubt about what, is the purpose of my life. In 2-3 sentences, he gave me everything which I cannot even complete it in my lifetime. Yeah, he told me you become Krishna conscious first, and then you help others. And he spoke in such a powerful, like everyone can say that. First become Krishna conscious, and then you help others. Yeah. When Gurudev asked me, what are you doing? And then we gave a whole list, Vrinda and myself, what are we doing? Food for Life, book distribution, Namahata. Then, we organize some, whatever, sometimes some courses, cooking courses. We come together with devotees. Then Gurudev, when he heard us, he said, first you become Krishna conscious, he says, then you help others. I'll call this principle is, we can say, when there is an emergency, then you just do. Whatever you have, you give, But there is a great risk there, and that we all know. The risk is that you may not survive, In the battlefield, many soldiers, they die. Even generals. And then when I heard this from Srila Gurudev, that this is very important. But I understood it, and later on also I learned this from Srila Gurudev, that if we know something, we should be compassionate and kind upon others and give them what we have. But don't forget to continue to cultivate our own bhakti. And then Gurudev mentioned that in a very beautiful way. He called that bhajan. Little did we know what is bhajan. But he would always ask anyone who would come, who had some position or some, status in the family institution, how's your bhajan? He would ask. And then the devotee said, okay, not bad. Then Gurudev said, oh, you're so lucky. My bhajan is hopeless. What is real bhajan? We didn't even know. We thought bhajan is chanting Hare Krishna and following some rules and regulations and distributing books and do kirtan. And this is all very good. It is not that it is not good, but bhajan is something very sacred and secret. And that is the duty of the living entity in the human form of life. When he or she comes in contact with transcendental masters, the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Rupa Goswami Pada, then unless we come to this conclusion that I should now become serious about bhajan, and we learn from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, what is this bhajan? So Gurudev was always, I noticed, he was deeply absorbed in his internal service. Whenever I remember, and of course he would also externally be such a lovely and such an affectionate, and like approachable and interacting, and so all these things were like for me like a big, I cannot express that, confirmation that spiritual life is really, it's all about happiness. It's about having fun and giving. It's all about being kind to each other and give that thing which we are receiving, to our capacity, and serve those who can really give that. Bring them anywhere. So when I was observing Gurudev telling me, always be with me, and I thought, well, if I take any service that these brahmacharis are doing, 5 brahmacharis, then that is not real service, because they are already engaged in service. If I do their service, that means they will have to do something else. So I thought I should do one service that nobody else is doing, and that way I can always be with Gurudev. So what service I can do? And I felt that, I was observing, and I offered my service for Gurudev asked me, can you help me with my book publishing? I said, if I can help, I will be so happy. He said, do you have any experience? I said, yes, I have experience. I was quite, what is it, not, I wouldn't say, but Dutch people have some, pride or ego. So confidence. So I said, yes, Gurudev, I have some experience, because we used to organize in the BBT and books and whatever, what have you. And then he said, then you can organize my book department. Okay, I said, you can you're fully responsible, Gurudev said. Yeah. So that was the first lesson that I had to learn. So I invited all the devotees who were engaged in the book publishing. And then we sat in a room together and I said, oh, Gurudev has told me that he wants me to take full responsibility for the book publishing. And I thought that everyone was like, gonna look like, okay, finally we have some organization or structure. And they looked at me and they just looked like, who are you? Yeah. What are you gonna tell us? Yeah. Because they were already engaged in the service. And they were all pretty much, doing things which is okay. Yeah. And then I understood there is something that I have to learn here. Yeah, that is to develop relationships with devotees first. So I went then, I realized we went to London and we spent time with Prem Vilas, Yasoda Gopi, got to know them and help them, support them in printing. And they were actually these books that Going Beyond Vaikuntha, Bhakti Rasayan, Govinda, Lilamrita, whatever, these books were published. And they were so much, giving nourishment in an area that we never really felt that we could connect with. Yeah, that is Transcendental Vrindavan. That mood came from Gurudev's classes in these books. So then we started to help and print books and distribute them. And then the next thing what happened, I observed the devotees, and we would be in India quite some time. Since 1994, we started to live next to the mud in a small room, which was like another adventure, to live in a small room next to Gaudiya ashram. We were used to live in ISKCON with ironed dhotis and nice socks and watches and cars and private rooms and all these things, and here we are in a complete and prasadam, deep fried everything, whatever we experienced, it was like quite different, but it was so beautiful because there was this beautiful personality, and we had rented a room right behind Gurudev's room. There is a pharmacy, Bamsal his name is. And that house is next to Gurudev's mat, and Gurudev's room was on that side. Where Tirthamara's room was, that was Gurudev's room, and we were on the other side, and we could just look into Gurudev's room from where our room was, and we had a little.
And he was always sitting in the window.
Yeah.
Sitting all day long.
Yeah, writing, meeting, interacting. So when we started to live there, then I was wondering, I asked the devotees, Madhav Maharaj, that time Nabin Krishna Brahmacharya, said, did ever Gurudev have some plan to go to the Western countries, do you know? And he said, yes. He said, I think Madhav Maharaj was more eager to go to the Western countries than Gurudev. So I said, what happened? Why it never worked? He said, ISKCON, the leaders of ISKCON wanted Gurudev to go to ISKCON centers all over the world. And then Gurudev said, yes, I will be so happy. I want to help the devotees. I don't, without any caste and creed, I want to give them what I have in my heart, the mood of Braj, especially Rupa and Raghunath. So then I said, what happened? He said, well, ISKCON leaders, they said to Gurudev, we are ready to take you, but we have 2 or 3 conditions. And then they mentioned the conditions, and then Gurudev said, get out of my room, I never want to see your face again, he said. And they felt so ashamed, because Gurudev said that what I have learned from my Guru Maharaj, what I have learned from your Guru Maharaj, that is what I will tell, not what you have decided by majority vote in your whatever, meetings. Yeah. Yes. And Guru Tattva, you cannot, speak what is really Guru Tattva, because we have a different system. And it is all authorized by Prabhupada. And Gurudev said, get out. Then they asked forgiveness, but anyhow that chapter was closed. Yeah. Then I asked the devotees, what about yourself, the English devotees? Did you ever? Yeah, they said, sometimes Gurudev would say that if you want you can organize, but we don't know how to organize. Oh really, I said. Then they didn't know, they had no experience. They were kind new, but nice devotees. Then I thought, well, that's now my golden chance. So I spoke with Naveen Krishna, with Madhav Maharaj. I said, what is your suggestion, how I should do? Is it going to work, you think? And he said, yes, I'm sure that we can do that. So then, that was 1995 in the beginning. Then I went to Srila Gurudev and I asked Gurudev, Gurudev, I want to make some suggestion. He said, what is it? I said, if you want, I can organize some programs for you in Western countries. Yeah. Then he looked at me and he said, I really don't want to go. He said, I like to be in Vrindavan. But he said, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he has requested me to help his devotees. So I can go one time, he says. But he said on one condition. He said that you have to take care of all the problems. Yeah. He said, whatever needs to be done, it is on your shoulders. Then I felt so happy, because I felt like, wow, now I have service and I have opportunity to be with Gurudev always. Yeah. But still I was kind of new, because there was not yet that intimate, what was it, like confidence that, oh, I am yours, you are mine. Yeah. Then what happened? Gurudev said, I'm just like a murti. He says, you can take me anywhere you want. I'll just speak Harikatha. But whatever you do, whether you arrange an airplane, a car, where we stay, that is all you have to arrange tickets, he says, visa, everything. So then I thought, okay, now it starts. And then we spread the news and we contacted the devotees. And then the plan was there, we will organize Europe. That was for me not too difficult. And then suddenly all the devotees became like really happy, and they all started to come in from Houston, Vishnu Prabhu, from Los Angeles, California, Pran Kishore, Urukram, now Padmanabha Maharaj, Madhavi, Kalimva, the sister Kanak Manjari, the mother Kasturi, and Pushpadanta. In Canada, Navadvip, he was helping to write Gurudevs and publish Gurudevs. He was helping to go to Canada, to Saranagati farm. Then New York, Ramesh came forward. Ramesh and Nrsimha Maharaj, that time Jagat Guru. Anyhow, they helped to organize. Tripurari Maharaj became very happy. Paramadvaiti Maharaj, they all became so happy. And then we started to organize, and in the meantime there was a whole political situation with ISKCON. And the funny thing was, ISKCON had planned a big celebration for Prabhupada's centennial in 1996. And I was part of the committee, which had many, many different petals. One of the petals was to make a kirtan party that would go all over the world and would re-inspire all the devotees of Srila Prabhupada who had become weak, lost their enthusiasm, to again unite them. Yeah. So here we are. We go with, and Gurudev was always very clear. He said, I am the servant of Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. He is my Shiksha Guru. He said, I am not independent. What he has, established, and Gurudev was so happy to see that. Like in Gaudiya Math, you cannot imagine in India especially how ladies are going to serve. Even Vrina knew, coming in the Gaudiya Math temple in Mathura, there's no service. You cannot do cooking, yeah. If you're lucky, you're allowed to wash the pots on a rare occasion, yeah. What to speak of deity worship? You kind of, where do you fit in, yeah. And then Gurudev, when he came to Western countries, it's beautiful, how that happened. It was like really amazing. So Gurudev agreed, we had things in place, and suddenly devotees came forward. They offered tickets, money, and I remember I bought the first tickets to go to Holy Land. That was our first stop, and we had a very nice place there, Vrinda and myself, which somehow or other, we had rented it out, but it became available for Gurudev's programs. I think we had 30 devotees staying or so. That was very nice, in the middle of the country, no neighbors, only cows, yeah, everywhere, no traffic, yeah. We somehow or other got that place after we spent years in ISKCON, and that was another Krishna's arrangement. So we brought Srila Gurudev there, but before we left, that is very important, the devotees in Mathura, they became a little upset, why are you taking our Guruji, yeah. They called me Krur, not Akrur. Krur means cruel, Akrur means no. And I said, I'm so sorry, and I really, feel that it is a sacrifice for you, and I know how much you have, such a beautiful effect. And it was true, the Mathura Math was like unbelievable, that atmosphere there. And Gurudev had practiced, developed, cultivated that whole area of Mathura, and not only that area, other areas also, for over 40 years. And the atmosphere in the mat was like, you would always feel that I am in a completely spiritual, transcendental home. Yeah, the warmth and the nourishing vibration. Premananda Prabhu, all the devotees, they were like so much in what is it, in a mood of giving and speaking and doing bhajans, and Gurudev was like permeating that whole place with his love and affection. So the devotees were, every night there was a class of Gurudev around 6 o'clock, and all the Mathuribasis would come and they would interact with Gurudev. He would sit on the Vyasasan and they would come to him, offer him pakoris and whatever, and he would interact with everyone in such a loving way. And when he would speak, it was like, nectar. We couldn't understand much because it was Hindi, but it was like so nourishing. And then he told me, you should always be with me. So here I am, Gurudev gave the class, and so I sit right in front of him, when he sits on the Vyasasan. And all these small Indian, devotees sit behind me. Then he looked at me, he said, that's not, you block, the vision. Then I said, oh my goodness, where should I sit? He said, sit a little further. And I spoke with Madhav Maharaj. I said, I just need your help. Yeah, can you? He said, you know what? You do the recording. He said. Then I was sitting next to Gurudev, and I could always do the recording. So that nobody, and also when I was sitting next to Gurudev, nobody was sitting behind me as much. I was sitting near the wall, so I could always be right near and help the mic, manage the recording. So I tried to find ways that I would be of some use. So then we went, finally, to Western countries. And there was a big, I don't know, yeah, there was so much propaganda. Even ISKCON devotees who were kind of related with me, they wrote me letters, don't bring him to the West, he's not in good health. And then I thought like, oh, well, you had your chance. Yeah, you blew it, I thought. That's what my heart said. you were so close with Srila Narayan Maharaj, and now you're going to tell me, what I should do just because we had a relationship in that institute, and I had some honor for you, but I thought I'm just not going to even bother it. So then we went on the day, that was the 5th of May in 1996. The plane was going to leave just after midnight. In the afternoon, Mr. Somnath from Delhi, you may know Mr. Somnath, he's one of Gurudev's supporters. He's a little fatty and he always comes for the parikram. Mustache. He would always host Gurudev and help with any, financial whatever. A very sincere and very generous and very religious person, and he was attracted to Gurudev and his wife and whole family. And Gurudev had no car or anything. There was even not a phone when we came in 1992. There was some kind of phone, but mostly they don't work. These, power cut, then no phone, So then no car. So that devotee from Delhi would always send Gurudev's car. So he sent a car, which was like a station wagon, Tata station. And then we were, after lunch, we were going to go to Delhi. So Madhav Maharaj, Gurudev and myself and the driver, we were ready to go. After lunch, about 1:30, we were going to the car. And it was the 4th of May. Then Gurudev, we went to the car and Gurudev told me, Brajanath, you sit in the front. And I was thinking, wow, what is this? The front seat is for the most important person, isn't it? That's where Gurudev, no, he said, you sit there. I said, are you sure? He said, yes. And then Gurudev was going in the back with Naveen Prabhu, Madhav Maharaj. Then we set off to the airport. Then I looked behind after 5 minutes, and there Gurudev was sleeping on the lap of Madhav Maharaj. And I felt like, now I understand why he wants me in the front. So Gurudev nicely sleeping, because after lunch he has to take some rest, and after 25 minutes, half an hour, he woke up. And then he started to, look, and he said, now Brajanath, we are going to the west, he said. And he said, before we go, I want just that we are clear, which is a very good principle, which oftentimes we forget. If we have no clarity, what is going to happen, then everything is like without life, without energy. So Gurudev said, before we go, I want that we are clear. What is our purpose? So he said, we're going to do 4 things, he said. And these are perhaps in the Guru Darshan also, they are mentioned. Gurudev said, we are going to do 4 things. First thing, I want to visit all the places where Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada has placed his lotus feet. And he has established, preaching centers, temples. I will go there, he said, and I will take the dust of his lotus feet and smear it all over my body. He said, why? Because without his mercy, no one can be successful in Western countries. To preach the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is the Acharya. Acharya means he has made all the proper guidelines. And if we study Prabhupada's approach, it is like unbelievable how he made a format, temple program, and book publishing, book distribution, Nagar Sankirtan, and how we should interact with each other, Ishta Goshti. Whatever they did with it is another thing, but he made the perfect arrangement that the house is well constructed, and that everyone can find his home there. So Gurudev said, I will go. That's the first thing I will do. The second thing, all the devotees who have become weak, who were so enthusiastic during Srila Prabhupada's time, Srila Swami Maharaj's time, they now, are hopeless. They have no strength, no happiness, no enthusiasm. I want to give them a special injection, he said, so that again they become enthusiastic, like at the time of their Guru Maharaj. The third thing, he said, wherever we go, any zone, of this ISKCON leader or that ISKCON leader. He said, whether they are favorable to me or not, I want to respect them, he says. Wherever we go, I want to respect all the senior devotees who are managing the ISKCON mission. And then he said, the fourth thing, we are going to have a lot of fun, he says. I want to laugh a lot, he says. So that was his mission, and it is still the same mission. The same things are applicable. Gurudev saw always we are one family. And he never thought that he was going to collect anything from Western countries. He said, I'm going to give. And I have a basket with me, he says, filled with jewels. As soon as we arrived in Holland. Now I think the time is over. What is the watch? Do you have a watch here? It's after 9? Yeah. So he said all these things tomorrow. What? 9 minutes. So when we arrived in Holland on the 5th of February, 5th of May, 1996, it was the Liberation Day in Holland. Liberation from the occupation of Germany. Sorry? It may have been, yeah. On the 5th of May. Oh, it may have been, yeah. But it was anyhow Liberation Day in Holland, and really that was now happening. Gurudev arriving in the airport, and suddenly 20 devotees showed up. And Gurudev was crying. He says, I don't know any one of them. Only Gopinath I know, he says. Yeah. And maybe one more. He said, why have they come? He says. I said, Gurudev, they want your darshan and your blessings. And they know your glories. Okay. So Gurudev mentioned that now when we arrived in the place, in our place, then he spoke and he said, really, I have come only to serve Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, to spread his real glories, he said. And not only that, he said, I have come from Braj. And whenever Gurudev would start his class, his lecture, I remember always Gurudev said, now come with me to Vrindavan. He always wanted that wherever we are in the world, that we come to Vrindavan, by heart especially, and if by body, once a year at least, for Kartik. But by heart we should always be with Gurudev in Vrindavan. So Gurudev said, I've come from Vrindavan, he said, transcendental Vrindavan. I have a basket with me with many jewels, he said. I want to give them to you, he said, for free. If you want, he said. If you don't want, he said, no harm. I will go back to Vrindavan and I will be very happy there, he said. But if you want them, I will be so happy. So then he started to present the glories of Vrindavan, of real Brajavasis. And the first one he started to glorify was Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. How he is, his real glory is that he is a resident of transcendental Vrindavan. That no one could understand, and even up to this day there is so much grey area that he is a Saka, he is this. All people who have no depth, who are not properly, approaching the practice of bhajan, in the line of Sri Rupa, how can they have any? And sometimes they wanted to convince Gurudev that our Gurudev is a Saka. And we know that because we are his. Gurudev said, I am also his disciple since 1946. I have much more ability and time and understanding. He is my bandhu, my friend. So when they would try to convince Gurudev, said, you can think what you want and it is okay for you, but don't disturb me, Gurudev would say. I know who he is, and if you have any other idea, you should keep that, for yourself. So many things we learned. So If you want tomorrow, we can start earlier because 8 o'clock we have to go to the doctor, Dr. Jayagopal. Normally your class is starting 8 o'clock, eh? If you want, we can speak at 7 o'clock till 8 o'clock. Yeah.
Well, we have Mangala Arati at 6.
Yeah.
And then until 6:30.
Okay.
Fine, then after that we can go.
Okay, good.
From 7 to 8?
Yeah.
Then leave it.
Then we can go. Yeah, on the way, we can do that. Srila Gurudev ki jai. Srila Gurudev's transcendental arrival in Holy Land ki jai. Then we went to France, we went to England. No, when we came back, I think we went to France in July. Yeah. First we went to England, and then we went to Houston. Then we went to Los Angeles. Then we went to Badger. First we went to Bakersfield, then Badger. Eugene. Yeah. Seattle.
From Canada to Seattle, New York.
Yeah, New York.
And then back to, then we had a stopover in our house again, not in a farm, but in the, and then we went back to England.
Okay.
4 days
And
to
then
Holland,
France was
then
the
2
next
days to
one.
Bombay, then
Yeah.
2 days to Delhi, and one day.
Not to, and then France was the next summer.
Okay.
So that was
The day after, the year after.
Yeah.
because in the
97.
winter we went to Malaysia and Singapore and maybe Australia, but remember Malaysia? That was the and Bali. We went to Bali in the winter.
Okay.
97.
You did already RT, yeah?
No, we have now
Oh.
this week.
We do RT now?
Yes. No, soon.
I ask for forgiveness, because I want to take rest early, then I can get up early. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Nitai Gaura Haribol, 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 Gaura Haribol. Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Haribol. We'll try.
Yeah.
The next Saturday.
It's not this, and then
This one.
This one.
In 2 days.
Yeah. And then come back in October.
Maybe 1 week.
Well, that would be good.
Or 2 weeks.
Yeah. Come on down to just.
Lockdown.
So we can do parikrama here.
Yes.
Yeah, because we're gonna from the audio Seva, we're gonna have one video every day on the broadcast. Yeah, and we do every day the same. When we do the video, we do on the same day when we have the schedule. So just one video a day we do lunch. And for Pushatan Mass, we have one English lecture about daily needs every day.
I will show Prabhu, next to Kanaya Prabhu's room when you were last time.
Say this last time.
Kivajayo Jaya Gora Chande Arati Kushova Jaya Jaya Gora Chande Arati Kushova Jana Vitata Vamini Jana Loba Jana Vitata Vamini Jana Loba Sakti Hare
Jagat Guru ki,
Jai.
Satparikar Shri Bhaktivedanta Swami Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki,
Jai.
Shri Gaur Kishore Das Bhakti Maharaj ki,
Jai.
Sachitanand Bhaktivedanta Thakur ki,
Jai.
Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannath Das Prabhuji Maharaj ki,
Jai.
Shri Guru Anugavarika ki,
Jai.
Gauri Vedanta Char Shri Gurudevas Distribution Prabhu ki,
Jai.
Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur ki,
Jai.
Shri Krishna Gurudevas Goswami Prabhu ki,
Jai.
Shri Narada Srinivashananda Prabhu Charya ki,
Jai.
Jai Rup Shri Sanatan Bhattacharya Shri Jiva Gopal Bhattacharya Jagannath Sat Goswami Prabhu ki,
Jai.
Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki,
Jai.
Shri Swarup Damodar Hari Vandanandari Gauri Prasad ki,
Jai.
Praise the God Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Bhattacharya Shri Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopal Gopika Govardhana Shri Nagana Shri Brajanath Prabhu Shri Gurudevas Dham ki, Nama Shri Bhaktivinoda ki, Ganga Jamuna Shri Bhakti Devi ki, Yogamaya Purnamati Devi ki, Vishnu Mahadev ki, Giraj Maharaj ki, Alita Vishakasa Saki Vrinda ki, Sri Ram Rupa Nati Mandiri Vrinda ki, Shri Nishindev Bhagavan ki, Shri Prabhat Maharaj ki, Jagannatha Baladev Sudarshan Chakraju ki, Charadam Chari 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 Sampradaya ki, Akala Matrachi Tadvanamat ki, Anaya Matsamur ki, Sri New Manipur Seva-Ashram ki, Sri Manipur Seva-Ashram Bhaktavrinda ki, Sri Harinam Sankirtan ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki, Gita Gaur Premanande.
Prabhupada has his own office.
Starts to feel a little bit like a temple, no?
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, you can do pradipam also around.
Yeah.
You could, yeah.
You could.
You could, but
You're not doing yet.
I mean, it will be, we have to build a separate chamber and possibility to go around. I don't know
Okay.
if we will do.
Oh, we can walk around.
Okay.
That's when we had the first fire yagya in our place in Holland in '96. We had a open fire in the living room, so we did yagya in the open fire. Swaha, swaha, swaha. You know the open fire, in the living room with wood, and then we had to circumambulate the fire. So we went out from the door and walked around the garden. We came back through the back door, and then we went through the room.
Was there much the fire?
Yeah, of course. No, it was like it was in a special made thing for fire in the room, you know? Yeah, like a wall, they have a big wood there, chimney. That was okay. It was safe. You do have it? Finish, huh? Jai. Okay. Morning tomorrow morning. Okay. Super. Second two. Sachi, I bought this in Kaplan.
Polizei dann
geen Feuerwehr schon.
Ja,
This is the last
Stop
one.
nog.
Oh,
Ja,
yeah.
Ja,
Oh, yeah. But that's
Ja.
something like this. Anyway.
In dit geval, je kan natuurlijk weer in Stieven uit en praten.
And this is what we can put in the fridge.
Feuerwehr.
And I need to put this in the
Ja,
fridge.
die voor je
Dus
krijgt.
dat is,
Ja,
Maar continu was zijn zoals